It's time once again. It's time for LEGO and Transformers to blend together into a perfect unison. We're going to check out the work of the LEGO community and see 4 epic mocks that are all inspired by Transformers. Are you ready to see some cool stuff? Are you ready to get inspired? Let's go. We'll begin with a banger. This is Transformers Prime Soundwave and it's made by Beans Bionicles. Yeah, this version of Soundwave has a very specific and somewhat creepy look. And using some of those elongated Technic panel pieces in dark blue, that was the perfect way to replicate the very unique arm and armor designs that he's got. And yeah, you'll see these pieces kind of everywhere. I believe, I tried to check them all, every single one of them comes in this Technic set. This one I believe is the 2022 Ford GT. I don't know car names very well, I assume that's correct. Let me know if I'm wrong. So hey, look, if you want to buy one Technic set, even one of the bigger ones, and just, use it as a parts pack, use it to build something sick, like this, I see nothing wrong with that. I mean, this is a frickin' masterpiece. I think it's money well spent. These Technic pieces have been mixed in with like a couple Bionicle pieces, like these dark blue Nuva shoulders. They make for some pretty great knees. Originally, if you wanted these in this color, I think they came in a couple sets, but one of the more famous ones would be Krekker. He just uses them as shoulder armor, which is the way this piece is intended to be used, but I don't know, this is another good use for it. One more clever part use has to be the face. Though first, take a look at this face. The angles on it are just sensational. But this eye. It's a large, big old, trans-purple triangle. Well, this is actually a crystal element that came in some of the old Monster Fighters sets. You could get these pieces in a variety of colors and they had different patterns on them. They were kind of like the collectible gimmick for all of these sets. They're good pieces. But yeah, taking advantage of that triangular shape and putting it on this face, that is a great decision and a great part use. I'm just so happy to see Transformers Prime Soundwave being brought to life. Like I said, it's such an original design for that character, and it's amazing to see it so well translated. It's like a breath of fresh air seeing this in physical form. Up next, Megatron. KenZi Mox has built this one. The color scheme is perfect. The small hints of red, they look so nice. And they pop in just the right way. I mean, looking at them side by side, it's a near perfect match. The body shape, the overall form, it's spot on. Now, many of the Transformers I talk about on these Transformer-focused episodes, people like to take the basic concept of whichever Transformer they're making and kind of give it a bit of creative license. They'll put their own unique spin on the character. And I think that's a great thing to do. Sometimes it can be very limiting to have to one-to-one copy something. I've done that before, you're making something and you're like, I have to do this because that's how it looks, but I'd love to branch this off and turn it into something different or introduce a new color. But there is a really good payoff when you get something looking so accurate. Like this. You can tell just how much effort they put into this. And on top of that too, it's highly posable. It's very easy to make something look very accurate and it be this static statue that can't move. And then on the legs, as well as on the arms, the torso, it's kind of everywhere on this mock. You'll see more of those Technic panel parts. The shape and the feel of them, it really is perfect for a Transformer. It really is perfect for recreating the look of Transformers 1 Megatron. I showed you a big expensive set before that came with a bunch of those panel pieces, but there's smaller ones that come with some too. Like this one here, it actually comes with some light bluish grey ones. So maybe it's worth picking up a set like that if you do plan on building Megatron. And what's a Transformer without it actually, transforming? Megatron can indeed turn into a tank. And again, this looks fresh out of the movie. Now soak this up, enjoy the heck out of this because you will never, ever see the LEGO group making a Megatron that can do this. It's a shame because literally every version of Megatron either turns into a gun, a tank, some sort of military jet fighter. There's a few exclusions, but they're a little more obscure. All of the things he transforms into are far too modern military focused, and LEGO doesn't like to do that. So if you want Megatron, you're gonna have to make a mock. You ain't getting a set. Oh well. I do adore this photo though. just placing him transformed alongside this Technic car, which I believe is an official set. It really does feel like he's standing alongside some sort of Autobot that's in vehicle mode. Hey, it might be worth picking up a Technic set just so that you can try and turn it into an actual Transformer. If you'd somehow be able to pull it off so that it can turn into its original car form and then become a robot, that'd be amazing. And you can't have Megatron without Optimus Prime. Tragic Builds has made this, and he's done a mighty fine job. This is highly, highly accurate. I'm trying to find some sort of imperfections or, things that have been modified. But nah, it's on point. Zooming in, you can see all the greebles and details that are, a staple of those Bayverse Transformers. I especially love the inclusion of some of these gold pieces. It's quite a subtle way of breaking up the color scheme just that little bit. And actually turns out the gold is accurate to the source material. I didn't realize. But take a look at this face. He's somehow managed to capture that brave, noble, and battle-hardened look that Optimus Prime has in those movies. Check out how the 1x2 ingot piece, this one, has been used to create the mouth. The little tiny indents on the edge of that tile. It perfectly illustrates that mouth. Everything from your ingot pieces to tiles to plates, all of those pieces do have subtly different edges. The difference between a plate and a tile on the side is a lot more subtle than this, but sometimes those little subtle changes are all you need to pull off something cool. You really got to know your pieces and really pay attention to the teeny tiny differences on pieces that look relatively the same. Knowing how that looks and how that works can lead to great designs like this. The eyes also really grabbed my attention. I believe that these are studs that come in light aqua. These parts in that color, they carry the same amount of soul that his eyes do in the movies. And actually here, in that image, you can see Prime's mouth. And taking a look at it, you can see just how accurate that mouth design really was. I mean, look at it. This goes so hard. Now let's finish things off with Arachnid. It's built by Mr. R03. So this is what I meant by taking a few creative liberties with this design. Unless I'm forgetting a version of the character, this doesn't seem to match up perfectly with any existing version. This is just the builder's own spin on how she can look. How good is a purple, gold, and black color scheme? There's something stylish and flashy about that. I do like this head. You might recognize these horns. Originally, these would have come on a set like Coulter, the Skull Grinder. They're placed kind of the other way around, but turning them into a crest or a crown is pretty nice. It's also pretty nice to see some minifigure hands for eyes. Now, I think the color that these are is lavender, and according to Bricklink, only 16 sets contain lavender hands, which in the grand scheme of things is not that many. One minifigure that's relatively modern that comes with hands in this color is the Mind Flare from D&D. If you've got one, take the hands off and use them for eyes. It does look good. And lavender's such a nice color. One last detail that I want to point out is the legs, specifically the lower legs. You'll see the use of these classic shin armor pieces. The same ones that of course come in your Star Wars Ultra Build sets, like the Death Trooper, for example. They're used here in a fairly stock standard way. But then the exact same piece is used on the upper legs, but it's rotated onto the side. It does work well for thighs. And then that piece is turned around once again and placed on the lower arms. 3 different ways of placing this part, and all 3 ways look sick. This part really is wonderful. There's so many ways you can use it, and even just changing it in a small way, just rotating it, whatever. It instantly transforms it and you can use it in a totally different context. It's a wonderful piece. Nice work. So there you go, 4 awesome LEGO Transformer creations. It's always a joy to see LEGO and Transformers molded into one. If you want to see more creations from these builders, check the links below. Each builder's social media is listed right there, so you can take a look at some of their other stuff. Also, feel free to submit some of your own creations to the submission email. If you want to be in the running to be featured on the show, that's the way that you can submit your stuff. Thanks for watching, guys. Happy building, and bye for now. My first Transformer toy was the RDI Fire Convoy Optimus Prime, and I got him when I was very young and I didn't know his name, so I called him Bingo.